representing or endorsing Harris. We have to look at the fact that during her administration with the president, she and him, they put more money into illegal military bases in Syria, illegal military bases in Iraq, put money into the proxy war in the Sudan between Saudi Arabia and the United Emirates that's killing hundreds of thousands of Muslims. Then on top of that, she has given nothing but word service to our concerns. And we don't want word service, we want action. And under her administration and the Biden's administration, if they wanted to stop the conflict that's taking place in Iraq, not Iraq, but Syria, Gaza, all he had to do is sign an executive order. That's all. He could have called Netanyahu and forced him to stop. And on any other occasion, if it was another country outside of Israel, you know what they would have done. They would have called for a multinational force.
My brother?
Yes.
I understand where you're coming from, but we just, brief statement question.
Okay.
Because we're going to go around the room. One person.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
The first question is
please wrap it up.
The first question is, and what parameter did we utilize to endorse her? And secondly, in a statement, we should never confuse imagery for substance. What having our imam to speak, that's a wonderful sign, but it doesn't represent policy nor substance. Assalamu alaikum.
May I?
Sure.
This is your workshop.
Short and sweet. Okay. Raising the flag motivated this dear brother in 1977 to register to vote. Okay. And 1989, raising the flag motivated this brother to run for public office. Okay. And we understand, I learned that you're not going to please everybody. I understand that. But our group, as well as another group, that is the Coalition for Good Government in this country, because of the flag, we made the recommendation that you have before you. Everybody gonna be pleased with that? No. But these are our recommendations, and we stand behind that. But thank you again for your remarks.
Yes. Assalamu alaikum. We share the concerns that was mentioned in terms of what could be needed, what's needed. I think what we are looking at is the future. Vice President Harris did not have the opportunity to be instrumental in making decisions. She's vice president. Now she's running for president. And we've saw positive signs that she has a different perspective on that particular conflict, war, tragedy, and genocide that's happening. So we hope that we feel we have to take a position, not so much that she's the perfect person or going to be the perfect person, but the alternative is Donald Trump. And I think we are not trying to command anyone to follow that, but we wanted to make a statement of conscience to look to the future and have a broader view. So we are pleased that and feel that we will have a seat at the table based on what we've observed, as Imam Kareem mentioned, the imams doing the opening prayer, et cetera, et cetera. I think we're going to have an opportunity to have a seat at the table to move it forward. So that's what we're looking positively toward the future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Brother, what vehicle will we use to get our message over to what vehicle would you use to get our message over to the leadership, Democratic or the leadership that we will have coming up?
Okay, very good. That's a very good question. Thank you for that. Doesn't a law says to us, oh, you who believe, your own self obligates you, and we are to fulfill all our obligation. We are to fulfill all of our obligation. So here in Florida, you know, we have Muslim organization that we mentioned, Coalition for Good Government, but here in Florida, we have an obligation. We hope that this will motivate us. This is our first time, but we hope this will motivate us to put a vehicle in place coming from the state of Florida and state in our position in government, state in our position in all these other areas that we are concerned with, education, et cetera, that we have a vehicle in place that we can make statements and we can evolve those statements to the other parts of the country. This is our work that we have to do.
And then again, too, that's what this session is about. We want to take sure and come up with some of these ways that we can do these things.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Travis told me, for those who know me, I've been involved in political empowerment in the Tampa area for 37 years, 10 years I was a minor as well. What we have to consider is Project 2025. I don't know if y'all know about that. And if you're a Muslim, don't know about it, shame for God. It's the playbook of the Republican Party. I'm gonna just give you some tidbits of it. It's a 900-page document. Tidbits is no 40-hour work week. If that administration wins, you have to take a loyalty test to be loyal to him. They're gonna gut Social Security. There will not be no student loan relief. No, the Democratic Party and Biden may not be the best, but they released $4.5 billion of student debt. 80%, I was one of them. 80% of those who got their debt relief was black people. Right? They would come back again to kill Obamacare. During the pandemic, people expand Medicare and benefit from Medicare and from Obamacare. So we have to understand that we're not saving the democracy, we fixing the democracy so it works for black people and for African Americans. That's what we need to do. And it's transactional. We're doing all this talking, and I ask right now if I can shame everybody here, how many voted in this last August 20th local election? Don't shame yourself, because that's had. And the Muslim dots raise this hand. They're going to elect judges, county commissioners, going to elect constitutional law judges, chair. We had a 20% turnout in Tampa. That won't cut it. So we have to be involved. 2025, we cannot go with the criminal. So we got a choice between the prosecutor or the felon.
That's right.
Okay, any other?
Yes.
Real short. This is not a matter of choosing between two evils. Allah created good. Look for the good. We're not choosing evil. Choose one. It's not a matter of choosing, deciding between two evils. If we believe in Allah.
I have to listen to what Jarvis was saying, because he's exactly right. This election is giving us an alternative, either do the right thing or do the wrong thing. And we have no action in this next election. We have to decide what we're going to be and where we're going to be at. Now they're going to wipe out everything if we make the wrong choice, but we should try to make the right choice.
Yes, sir.
I'm not telling you how to vote, but I'm telling you what's right.
Thank you, dear brothers. Assalamu alaikum. Just 2 or 3 very quick comments. First of all, this discussion is not just about the presidential election, even though it's important. It is important, but we're not just talking about the presidential election. This is part of our discussion. You have congressional seats, you have state legislature, you have judges, you have county commissioners in some cases, you have school board members, you have municipal leaders, etc. Number one, it's not just about that one. Number two, many of you, and I have studied the American system of government. You have the executive branch, which is the president, et cetera, et cetera. You have the legislative branch, which is Congress, and you have the judicial branch. Anyone who thinks that one person in America makes these decisions, you don't know the history and the structure of American government.
Right.
No one person decides anything in this country, period. I don't care who it is. Third thing, like some of you said, I'm not trying to tell anybody how to vote. And this intention is not to tell anyone how to vote. It is for us to have this discussion because believers conduct their affairs through what? Shura bainahum, by consulting with one another. Fourth point, organize, don't be divided. Organize, and we should be organized first. Part of the process of organizing is just what we're doing now. How you gonna get organized if you don't talk with each other, hear each other's viewpoints, right? And finally, I ran for office. I ran for office in Hillsborough County years ago, back in the 80s. But I didn't run to represent the Muslim community. At that time, many of us probably weren't even registered to vote. So if we're gonna have a common position as Muslims, organize, consult with one another, reach consensus, put together a platform, if that's what we're gonna do. And if you're gonna run for office, come to me, come to this group and say, I'm thinking about running for office. Here's why I'm running for office. Here's why you should support me. Okay.
Okay, yeah, assalamu alaikum. Quick story. 30 seconds, sir. The story is 30 seconds. When I was in high school, I read a book called The Scattered Brotherhood. And there's 2 or 3 different types of books. It was someone other than us wrote this book. But the concept is what I pulled out of the whole picture of the theater of what they were saying. You know, they were highlighting the fact that if the brotherhood is not together, then there's not going to be a real effect on anything, you know. And this is one of the things that Imam Bilal, myself, you know, we kind of grappled over this situation because we know we got some heavy hitters right in here right now. Heavy hitters, okay? And I mean that. I mean that from my heart. But the problem is that everybody is separated for the most part, doing their own thing. We are Muslims. And the suggestions that were made is for us to conduct this shura bainahum on any subject. Those were our marching orders, right? Yes. Our marching orders are, you know, do something. Anybody heard that lately? Oh, yeah. Do something, but do it in a structured way. And I appreciate imams there in you're in Tampa, right? St. Pete. But we should. My humble suggestion is when we have all of these topics like politics. Imam Muhammad told us this, rahimahullah, politics, education, this, that, and the other. Then people who are interested in politics should be part of this process. And there are other political movements or political groups that are Muslims in Florida. You got Impact, you got this group, you got another group. All of those groups, this is my humble suggestion, should cross-pollinate their findings, their methods, and then consolidate behind that. Because some of us don't know nothing about politics.
Right. That's right.
And most of the Muslim community don't have no idea how politics work, like Imam Masjid was mentioning. Okay, so if we don't know, then we can't operate like we know.
That's right.
We don't know. So one, those who are already working in these arenas of political effect should get together, not just know about each other.
Right.
Here's a group in Miami. There's another group in Tampa, St. Pete. There's another group. What is that? We Muslims, right? We Muslims. And the Muslims are already weak in regards to these areas. So those who are in these areas, working in these areas, should come together and work this situation out and just tell us what you decided. Tell us what you decided, then we take sure on it. Okay? That's all. I love you guys, man. Happy to see y'all smiling faces. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Anymore, we do have more time. Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Respected Dr. Issa, perspective. The alternative out of his mouth was that they should finish the job.
Yes, right.
They should finish the job, meaning Israel should continue to pound. I'm not an insensitive person. It's a tragedy against humanity. But where were those same cries when we were suffering? When I look at my Masjid, they come from Palestine, they come from Ukraine, they come from different places because they come here for refuge. And we allowed that safety for them here in this country.
That's right.
What the alternative to the president that's running, the female, Ms. Harris, the alternative is to shut down all those government entities so that the whole control is solely to one person. That's how we got Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's how we got situations where cities used to be there, towns used to be there, but now there's rivers that cover it. Because there was no government help. And by the time that anybody found out from the government from a high ranking, it's months later, years later. That's what they want to shut down. Because they hate that you're a doctor. They hate that you're a scientist or a technologist or whatever it is that you do. Because when you're afforded a privilege, you just think you should get it. One of the rules in his 4 years was that I am a registered nurse, mental health, veteran. I work with veterans, drug addicts, people like that who've been in wars multiple times, over and over and over, deployments, really quick. He wanted to make it where they can fire me from my job. I have a BS degree in this. And just put anybody there. That's all he wanted to do. Shut it all down so that those privileges can be afforded to other people. And the government turns their back to their crimes. That's the alternative that we're facing. That Project 2025 is no joke.
No joke. It's real.
Because now he get a second chance to do what he needs to do. And he know exactly what to do because he learned while he was in the first week.
Good point. Take beer. Take beer. Yes. Praise be to Allah. I know we're going to be calling about 10, 15 minutes. I just want to say yes, sir.
No, go ahead.
Okay. I would just want to say again, thank Allah for Imam W.D. Muhammad. Okay? Now I know everybody here didn't come under his leadership. Everybody here didn't come with the Nation of Islam. I understand that. I understand that quite well. But those of us who did come under the Nation of Islam, and the Nation of Islam kept moving us towards, okay, W.D. Muhammad. And W.D. Muhammad came in 1975, and he began to open up himself and open up to bring us around. So he taught about mother. You know, there's been the women's in the White House, but there have been no mother to lead in the White House. Now we have a chance, and I listen, and I know I don't agree with. I didn't agree with everything from the 44th president, Barack Obama. I was happy that he was there. I became very emotional when he was elected, but I didn't agree with him on everything. And you're not going to find no one that you agree with 100%. That's right. But mother have a compassion, and that's what we need. Someone with a compassion. And Miss Harris have that. Okay? So think about this, and I hope that you take the flyer, those who are in agreement with us, please take the flyer and share the information with those who are not able to come. Thank you.
You got one. You have 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Just keep it.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I've been listening to everyone, and I think everything to every point that each one of you made is valid. But Morris D. Muhammad, our leader, he put emphasis on several things that we should focus on in building and continue the movement of Al-Islam. The political was one of them. Business was the other. Most of our problems, if we want to be realistic to ourselves, we had it in the nation. Don't let nobody tell you the nation was bad for you. That's wrong. No one knows Allah plain. No one. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He allowed that to be for a purpose, and we're fulfilling that purpose today. Now we had another leader who come along who gave us direction, the definition of Al-Islam. Don't forget that. We have the definition of Al-Islam. Nobody needs to tell you that. No foreigner, nobody on the planet. You have that. That was given to you honestly by a leader that knew the Quran, knew Hadith, and had a clear understanding about Quran. We have that among ourselves. Don't forget, we have to start an ecosystem of our own. Most of our problem will be eliminated. Don't say we don't have the money. We have the money among ourselves. All we got to do is come together. Period.
Yeah.
I saw that. I was just thinking about the thing that was been said. You know, pretty much agree with a lot of things the man often said. That's right there. Our job is now we go with most of us. A lot of us have been 50 years. We go back. I see Brother Glenn. You probably remember this. Going back to the Nation of Islam. A lot of you may not know it. I'm not saying anything specific so that somebody don't know or might not never find out about. But during the time of Muhammad, he encouraged us to vote. And I can tell you one person in particular, Adam Clayton Powell. Go back in history in your mind. You don't have to book. Go back in history. In the 60s, Adam Clayton Powell was a powerful senator in New York, the Harlem district.
That's right.
Muhammad said that if we knew or we found somebody that would really represent our issues and our causes, then we would throw our support behind them.
That's right.
And then here's another thing.
And advocating power was omitted. I got a few more minutes, hopefully. But advocating power was dismissed or kicked out of Congress, whatever word you want to use. It was a man from town, Sam Gibbons. I'll call his name, Sam Gibbons. I just didn't let y'all go from that. Some of y'all probably know. Sam Gibbons had a lot to do with that. And I didn't learn that in the political or civic or government class. I learned that in the agriculture class. Because the teacher that taught us agriculture was Morris Tucker in Winter Haven. We called him Fest. The Fest is short for professor. But moving right along, I remember one time I was going to vote in Winter Haven at the American Legion. Pardon me, son-in-law. Well, that makes sense. But son-in-law. But anyway, when I was going, one of the principals, former principals, one of the schools, he stopped me. He said, hold on a minute before you go in. And I said, okay, yes, sir. He said, you done made up your mind who you gonna vote on? I said, pretty much. You know, I said, I studied this, just like I studied books and stuff. I'm not a politician. But when it comes time, particularly, the closer it gets election time, the more I get into it. So he said, you see this guy's name on there? On this sheet? I said, yes, sir. He said, this is what he told me, a lot of my witnesses. He said, we sent a plant to his rally. I might say mixed thing a few people, because you know that say the N-word. I don't say the N-word, I call it. He said, we sent a plant to his rally. And the plant came back and told us that the man said nigger 21 times. Think about that. I say that to say that if you don't have nobody else, you don't know that. So he said, hey, well, they're going. You go ahead and vote for him and stuff like that, you know. But I didn't want to get it, but the government is very important. It's in the Quran. I had heard about it mentioned. Not that we don't know it, but a lot of things. I used to speak on the radio, so y'all know I can talk 30 straight minutes, but you got other people. Yeah, I was saying about that pretty power, but let's get into something. Who was that? Kareem Ali said, anyhow, I think. We're not going to agree with everything 100%. And I'm thinking about, and y'all probably heard of this, little wise man. He was traveling, a couple of wise men were traveling, and he got up, and then he looked at it, was a flesh of a dog, I believe it was, if I remember correctly. And well, probably was 2 or 3, and one of them said, that's got a foul odor. And the other one said, yeah, the meat, flesh all messed up. I might not be giving it 100% because it's been a while since I heard it. Plus, I'm not trying to have be no victim or nothing, but I had a head injury a few years ago. That's why I slipped on certain things. But a lot of the best know I'm here, so I'm gonna do what I can while I can. But anyway.
What was the last one, man? Don't drop it, brother.
All right, we'll take more. Right quick. So the person say, bad flesh, ugly flesh. The other person say, yeah, a foul odor. The third and probably the wisest person said, but he got these shiny white teeth.
You got it.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're close to the end of this time that we have allotted for this. And so we will encourage you to continue this conversation. And the whole point of this was to spark conversation. The second part of this, inshallah, to spark action. So the question was raised earlier. What do you say to people who say they're not going to vote? I'm not voting for anybody. Then I would say, you're a fool. And the reason being is you don't understand the game of politics in this country. It's not to build what the brother Issa said earlier. The party politics is dirty. Don't get that confused. But the broader politics, the politics that play out, is even worse.
That's right.
Because the party make decisions for the party line, up and down the party line, all the way to the Supreme Court. If you're not paying attention, the Supreme Court is 6-3 for a reason.
Right.
And 6-3, and these people had the dance to say, you know what? The president has immunity.
Right.
He can do whatever he wants to do until the Supreme Court says otherwise. That's not what I learned. Checks and balance. You guys do your job, Congress do their job, and the executive branch do their job. But how you say, no, Congress sit down, President sit down, we'll tell the president what he can't do. It's 6-3, majority wins.
Right.
It's 6-3 and any conservative. It's a numbers game. It has always been a numbers game. If you haven't learned anything about this country and politics, it's a numbers game.
That's right, brother.
Numbers in terms of votes, numbers in terms of dollars, numbers in terms of majority.
That's right.
And it's nasty. Reconstruction. Civil War happens, country falls apart. Reconstruction says, okay, let's start clean slate. Let's actually give black folks, former slaves, opportunity to run and govern. At the federal level, forget the state stuff. Federal level. How long did that last?
Not long. Not long at all.
One cycle, 10 years. Why? Because someone back said, hey, send these N-words back where they belong, we'll give you your president. That was the deal.
Yeah.
They wanted a president more than they wanted to maintain equality. We're talking 1800s, not like, 1960s, 1800s. It's a dirty game. Let's get part of the game. You gotta have numbers on your side. I mean, I'll talk about organization. There are several Muslim organizations around the country and in this state. We should be on the same page. Yes, we won't always be on the same page. We have to collectively understand what's the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Project 2025 is not the bigger picture. Yes, the administration, the Democratic Party is a dirty party. They have their politics covered by this group, and that group has hijacked their views. But the question is, what are our numbers? Are we organized? Are we raising funds? Are we supporting people with the right funding and money and votes so that they can have the voice and say, you know what? Let me just back down. You were in Miami. No, you were in Miami, correct?
Yeah.
You were in Miami during the program.
Oh, yes.
Yes, that's where we met, right? Excellent program. You saw the dais. A lot of support across the board. So there, and that support was from different parts of the up and down the state that they understand and recognize the Muslim voice.
Right.
Are we adding our voice to that platform that you were on? Are we adding our dollars in that space? Are we adding our support in that space? If you're not, ask yourself why. Because if you're not part of the game, then you are the game.
Right.
And again, don't get it wrong. Politics in this country is a numbers game. It has always been and always been a numbers game. We have to decide on what party numbers we want to be on. Because when the brother sent the recommendation out, my first question was, okay, this is great, but what's going to be the vehicle to get this done? Are you going to send this to the Harris ministry and say, hey, listen to me? They'll say, okay, who are you? They're going to go do a Google search. They're going to look for other stuff like, I don't know who you are. You don't have any numbers. Thank you for it. Yeah. If you're going to think. They just be flat out ignored. Flip the script. You send a list of demands and expectations. They say, oh, okay, you guys represent X. You can move the needle in votes. You can move the needle in raising funds. You can move the needle in what is important to me. How can I help you? Because I need you to help me. That's politics in this country.
Yeah.
And if you don't understand it, you say, I'm not going to vote. Yes, there's only two parties, so suck it up. That's all we have.
Two parties.
Make a decision. We'll be conscious, make it a conscious decision, understand that one party may listen to you, another party don't care you exist.
Right. What do you consider? Yeah.
Because Project 2025 don't care that we exist.
Sure don't.
And if these people have
What is Project 2025?
Explain
Because some people just don't know what it is.
Okay, so Brother Jarvis started to explain it. I just add a little bit more color to it. It's so every so often the political parties come with a manifesto. This is a list of documents saying, this is what we want to do. This is what we believe in. If you're in our party, this is what we want to do. This is our strategy. I use those words. This is our strategy. Right? This is our strategy. And they're not hiding this strategy.
No, front.
So if they get in play, don't be surprised they do what they do, because they told you
They're gonna do it.
what they were going to do. And this side of this group, they're bold. They have before they were ashamed, they'll do it in the back. No more of that. I'm a racist, I'm going to tell you in your face I'm racist and just suck it and get over it. So that's what this program is all about. So you think they flipped their mind about critical race theory? To explain to people the history of the past.
I'm not trying to put anybody on the spot. This is not for us to do that. But could we see the hands of those who plan to vote November the 5th? I'm already voting.
No, November. The general election, not the primaries. Yeah. So again, I don't want to create a soapbox, but I do need for us to understand because there's a lot of gross information. But don't get me wrong, this brother's example of being into politics and being in that process and having that happen, that is most likely real because the politics of the parties is dirty. Hillary Clinton lost from Donald Trump because of the dirtiness they played with Bernie Sanders.
That's right.
And then when they got out before the election was over, it's like, well, I'm not voting for her. They rigged the system against this guy for whatever reason. Granted, he could have been 9 times and would not have won the nomination. Right. But the fact that they were playing dirty and trickery didn't help, and any poor advice from her party, they flat out lost because people were tired of her. But that's not the first nor the last time that happened, unless us say, you know what, I want to go and do what I can to be part of the Democratic Party or a party and use my voice, my position, my strength to influence from within. Yes.
We were asking about the vehicle that we should again use to get our message across. I'm hearing that we're looking at ourselves Muslim, and we do want to clean this thing up. So, what would be an effective way to get this message?
So within our association, there's a coalition with government at a national level, within the state level. I know in Miami there's a body there. Also within the state of Florida that is engaged as a voice, that's impact as a voice. There's several Muslim organizations that have infrastructure and support where we can be part of that process, either individually or collectively, to get that message across. To say we're part of a bigger picture. There's 300,000 Muslims in the state of Florida, and so we're all voting as a block, right? That moves the conversation. If it's 300, if the dog catch you, yeah, but not for second. Just a few minutes. Okay.
Last night I was on the telephone with various political activists from throughout the country, Black. And one of the things that we don't have that we should have is a viable PAC, political action committee. All right, because most of them that I spoke to on Republicans as well as Democrats, we were all catching hell from the political parties that we are part of. And so therefore, it's not an issue for most of us about what party. It's about an issue of interest. All right, that's where it has to. Cannot confuse interest and party. You see, so that's where we have to begin, and we have to develop, and that's what we're talking about doing. Not talking, but we're going to do.
I just like to say, I totally agree with my brother just pointing out, and I hope that we here in the state of Florida, those of us who have an interest in this area of government, okay, come together for that shared purpose. I totally agree with you. Thank you so much.
Okay, this last comment, we'll take a 2-minute break and then we'll move to the next program. We'll bring up, on the agenda, we have Nasser, he's en route. So we'll bring up Imam Bilal instead to keep the ball rolling, and we'll go from there.
Alhamdulillah, this is really a big part of what this gathering is intended to do. Sometimes we're going to agree, sometimes we're not going to agree. Your right hand doesn't always agree with your left hand. Right side of your brain doesn't always agree with the left side of your brain. But sooner or later, you got to decide that you're going to come together while you live your life schizophrenic, undivided, and even working against your own best interests. And that's where we are, first thing. Second thing, وَأَتَّسِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. Hold fast all together by the rope which God stretches out to you individually, collectively, ethnically, religiously, geographically, etc., and do not be divided. So listen, as Muslims, we have to ensure remain at home, talk with each other, and just arrive at a common interest and position. We can't do it unless we agree, unless we talk, debate,
etc. with each other, and then come together and reach a consensus. As an ethnic group, as African, some want to say racial ethnic, whichever term, we have some interests, right? When they put our ancestors in the slave ship, you had Igbos and Kikuyus, et cetera, and you had Muslims, and you had Christians and animists, but we want to treat it the same. So we have to, and here in America, we have to unite with Asians, we have to unite with poor whites, working whites, we have to unite with Latinos, whoever, but we can reach white, we're all a minority. If every African American came together and agreed on every single point, we would still be a minority. If every Muslim came together and agreed on every single point, we would still be a minority. So we have to reach common consensus and then form coalitions around those consensuses, and then we have a chance of winning, right? Now, final point that I will make on it is, in November, as it stands, we had two choices. Now you can decide what you want to. I've already made my choice. In the state of Florida, we have two parties. Think about this. In a country with 300 million people, they say you only have to choose between two political. That's foolishness. State of Florida, if you're not a registered Democrat or registered Republican, you can't even vote in the primary. That's oppressive. That's foolishness. These are the kinds of things that we should be changing. But we can only do it if we come together, strategize, discuss and debate with each other, and then reach a consensus, and then decide how we move forward based upon the larger and the common interests, right? And so that's the sober-minded, rational approach that we should be taking as believers in Allah, but people who believe in science and reality. Right. Faith, but also science and reality. All right, thank you very much. So we're going to take a break. We don't have time for a break, so let's do this. All take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Release it. We'll move to the next topic. Back there. It's up to you.
Those individuals that are in politics should exchange information.
Okay. So the ask is, if you're in politics, well, the next time I have a break, which is probably after this session, before we head into at 12:30 we're going to start. No, at 1:35 we're doing Salat. So the next time we take a break, if you're in politics, exchange numbers, emails, contacts, etc., so that you can connect with one another and get going. So on that note, we're going to bring up Imam Al-Haqq, who is going to speak on and talk about Islamic climate for business success and economic prosperity.
Yeah, assalamu alaikum. I was scheduled to follow after Imam Nasser, which I was highly participating, because it was my idea not to burn myself up. Because there's a lot of young brothers that learning Islam, but they don't know who Imam Muhammad is.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, I even had heard some call him a kafir. No, a kafir is a person that hears the signs of God and rejects it.
Yeah.
That's the kafir. Yeah. Not the one that brought the truth to a whole race of people.
Yeah.
That's how Muhammad is. My intention, I'm over the business, but my intention is to address a lot of you young brothers. And basically what I'm doing is I'm giving back to what the community gave to me. A sister in Jacksonville, Masjid, when I first came into the community, she told me, say, if you want to learn Islam, chase leadership. So I began to go to all the Southern Conference meetings. And there's an imam, may God bless him and grant him paradise, from Atlanta, Georgia, named Imam Bacha, Ibrahim Bacha. And every time I would come to the meeting, Imam Bacha would come sitting right by me and start teaching. And one of the beauties of Imam Muhammad is that every one of his students can come in here and tell you a story of how the Imam inspired their life.
Right.
And mine is the way he attacked the worst habit of man, to follow. The Imam said, "You are not my followers, you're my student." And that set a different platform for me. When I go to the meeting, Imam Bachar, Imam Yahya Islam, Imam Qasim Ahmed, Imam Fahim Shaway, all these brothers encourage me, Bilal, it's not on the surface. You got to go study Islam. The way they inspired me, the Arabic to me is knowing. The English to me is understanding. To the Arab speaking person, the Arab to him is understanding. And maybe the English just words for him. But for you and I, our nectar is in the English. That's where your real understanding lies, in the tongue that your Lord gave you. This is the way I was inspired. I was encouraged to learn the Arabic, but to get the understanding from Yusuf Ali. In my day, I was taught that the greatest work of our time was the way Yusuf Ali interpreted the Quran in English. That it gave the English-speaking brother a better understanding of what God was asking for him. I'm doing the business. To introduce myself, I'm the owner. I used to be the owner of Road Skate North Florida. I'm the first African-American striping company from South Carolina to Miami for the Department of Transportation.
All right.
I also have a full pardon from the Governor, Jed Bush, for the 20 years that I spent going in and out the prison to help brother. I have a full pardon. And a lot what I'm gonna share with you. This is the beginning of the business section of the Brothers Roundtable. And I put together a little emotional, inspiring talk for you.
Come on with it, brother.
But as I told you, I'm different. And I realized that there's a lot that the African-American brother, we are not just paying attention to. Because it's a new day.
Randomly.
Look at all the effort you putting in voting. But you know the real point that we don't understand as a group? Them people who you put in office, they gonna pay the people who help them.
Mm-hmm. That's right, brother.
But you and I ain't at the table.
That's right.
Every faith-based organization is where they gonna go to distribute that money.
Get that money, get paid.
And we are not at the table.
Lots of money.
We are not woke up to the contract opportunities that they are just for a congregation.
Think about that.
The Christians in my city, they run the parks.
Think about that.
Because they get the contract from the city government to just give the children moral teaching without labels. That's what they call it.
Mm-hmm.
So all the Christians, they get these $300,000-$400,000 contracts to run the city parks for the summer program for the children. We're not at the table. You know, that's what I want to introduce to you. Now, first, let's go. I got a little emotion. You know, my friend told me, he said, "Don't you get up there and start preaching." So I'm gonna try my best now. Okay, I want to share something with you. Malcolm X went to his grave, never knowing that the man who protected him was the FBI. That his bodyguard was the FBI. The Imam have given us our own paths to address all these issues. And we need to stick close to the teaching that the Imam gave to us. What you're doing right now, me and him did not invent this. The brothers before us invented this. We just reintroducing it to us.
There you go.
Why? Look at him. Look at me. Look over there at Zaki. Look at all other brothers who came through that time. Look at how they lived their life. Look how it benefited. Right? So we're encouraging ourselves to just get back on the past. And remember this. We as a group, you can't say anything to endanger all these women and children.
That's right.
You can't do it.
Can't do it.
You got to think of what you're doing because there's a very wicked person in this society. And you got to watch what you say. You can't say anything to endanger they say.
That's right.
And you know, we had a saying. I went to Baltimore, Maryland one year. That's when I met Imam Ezekiel Bacha.
Okay.
And the way he came into the room, you could tell he was successful. I think his shoes cost about $400-500.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm serious with you. But Imam Bacha introduced me to business.
Think about that.
And it changed my whole life. I was selling oils, earrings, incense, and he came into the room and said, I brought $120,000 home to my family this year. And he had all our attention in that room. Yeah. But right now, some of them think that Imam Bacha is a billionaire. And he kept going. He kept applying his own teaching to his own life, and now they think the brother billionaire. Right?
Right.
So that's what I want to introduce you to. There's a lot we are as a people are not paying attention to. There's a lot of opportunity. It's a different day. Well, if my father were to try to do what I did, they probably would have lynched him and the truck. But now you can do it. So I got this short thing, but it's for you young brothers. You know, we out here. Because as Al-Haqq told me, the angel don't take bribes.
Right.
Then when the angel comes, you're going to go. But I got a little short thing for you. And I got a little short thing for you. First, I want to start with the Quran. And as I say, Malcolm went to his grave not knowing that his bodyguard was the police. It's a lot to stop the teaching of Islam. In no place in history did a group of men love each other so much that God had to send a revelation to them to say, hey, you have overstepped the bound. And that was Islam. So the world have a great desire to never witness that again. So you got to study. You got to find brothers who, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad say, if he don't treat you right, what makes you think he gonna teach you right? So the teachers that you select to learn from, you want to pay attention to see if the guy treating you right.
There you go.
Because if he treating you right, he gonna teach you right.
Think about that.
And so I was giving it in a little way, them brothers really invested a lot of time in me. And I thank God for it. Now, I want to give you that time. Let's go to a short thing I got for you. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Tasin. Tikal ayatul al-Qur'ani wa kitabin mubin. Hudan wa bushra lil mu'minin. That's verse 27. Surah 27.
Okay.
Ayah 1 and 2. What's so amazing about them verses is that no businessman can attain his success without faith.
Come on now.
He can't do it.
Can't do it.
But you can see 1,000 Muslims
Okay.
bowing in prayer. But that don't mean they got faith.
Sure don't.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what, see, it was like kept from us what Iman really is. See, Iman consists of two things.
Come on now.
Not just belief in God, also believe in yourself. If you don't believe you, that's what that verse saying. That verse saying, these are the verses of a Quran, a book, that make life easy, that make life successful, that make life enjoyable. And listen what I say. He said, it is guidance and good news.
Good news.
My brother, you're going to prosper.
Come on now.
Only for those who believe. Believe unlock every institution of learning. If you don't believe, you can't play football. If you don't believe, you can't play tennis. You can't do no intellectual learning without belief. And you know what's amazing? Why, as Muslims, we gonna look for books to teach us about Iman? We only hear about belief in God. None of the books teach us the exercise to increase faith in our own self. No books. No books teach us that. Yes, it is. It just ain't in our collection. Any of y'all ever read the book Napoleon Hill? Oh, you hear it?
Yeah.
Napoleon Hill is teaching you what they stole from Islam.
That's right.
Because only belief in yourself begins the process of growing. You cannot believe in God without belief in yourself.
That's good teaching.
And there's an exercise that, how you get this? Where you stole this from? Napoleon Hill. I want to share that exercise with you. And you know something? Look at every successful person in America and realize, go ask them, you ever read Napoleon Hill?
Yes, sir.
And everyone gonna tell you, say, it's on the shelf. I got almost every volume that he produced, right? The first step in increasing in Iman in you is to first fall in love with you.
That's right, brother.
Even Mary J. Blige knows it. Yeah, she tell herself in her new record, she tell herself, say, good morning, gorgeous. Because she know what increase her defense.
That's right, brother.
Temptation don't have rules. It don't have a rule book. It'll punch you in the back of the head. Telling yourself that you love yourself. This is what I use. I love me.
No, that's right.
I ain't finna do nothing to diss me.
Come on, wait.
That's my exercise. Listen what I say. I love me. And I ain't finna do nothing to diss me. As many times as I can remember. It bring up the dukes against yourself. Right? Now listen to the next one. Well, I want you to go and begin to try. And see how the psychological effect of it begin to prepare you for the trials and tribulation of life. Listen at the next one. I say to myself, what I say to me, I'm never gonna tell me, oh, you old sorry Negro, you can't do nothing nowhere. I'm never gonna say that to me. What I'm gonna say to me is I'm a very educated young man. And with Allah's help, I can solve any problem. And then the next one is my motive, right? You got to take action.
Gotta take action.
What do you use making salah 5 times a day? And you scared to go take chance and feed yourself. Think it over. You making prayer, and Allah has no reason to lie. As Imam Wilmo taught me. He said, because nothing you do benefit Allah. That's right. So he telling you 5 times a day, go make salah. You make a salah, but you scared to go and try to feed yourself. Because you don't have no belief in yourself. That exercise begin to build the action in you, for you to go out and go against it. Now I got another for you young brothers. Hold on, I got another. There are 4 steps, right? Or choosing a career for myself.
Right now.
There's 4 steps, 4 exercises exercise, 4 practices to help you build a career for yourself. The first one is what I love. Passion. Not what everybody else loves.
That's right.
And remember what the imam told me, Belair, I don't want you to be no follower. I want you to be a student. Brother man, why you don't want me to be no follower? Because the follower don't know what he's doing. He's just doing what he sees. And he can never unlock the creativity of his maker. The human being have a creativity mechanism in his maker that unlock and help them solve problems. Right? Yes. So the first one, you don't want to be a student. I mean, you don't want to be no follower. You want to always be a student. And you know something we've been told in Islam? To every problem, there's a dignified way out. To everything you confront, there's a dignified way out through learning. Let's go to the next one. First going to be my passion, what I love.
That's right.
The second one going to be my talent.
Talent.
Can I do it?
Yes, sir.
Do I have the knowledge of it?
Yes, sir.
Oh man, the world will change. That's what I can do. No, listen to me. See, nobody come and teach us this. The world have changed. I can go to YouTube.
Okay.
No, listen to me. YouTube ain't just for music. No, I can go to YouTube and study what I want to learn in the privacy of my own home.
Right, brother.
I can sit there and just, they got guru after guru after guru teaching how to put money in my pocket.
Telling the truth.
And what's so beautiful about it? Look at him. Look at that. He got money. Look how he look. Yeah, you can go to YouTube and learn whatever you want to learn. Right? Okay, let's go to the next one. The next one is, I call it my motive, as I spoke to before. Everybody fear a man with action. Everybody. Everybody's scared of a man who would take action. Boy, when they see you out there going at it, that's what fear them. Your work habit scare your competition. They say, oh, look at this guy. Well, he's everywhere. That's the goal you want for yourself. And you know what the world used? To get off my topic 1 minute. The world used the little ant. Yes. The world gonna study the little ant. How much action that little old guy takes. Right? Oh, don't it? And how organized that he is. You see what I'm saying? Yes. No, you got to learn to take action. And look at God mercy. God say, Belair, get up out that bed. Take action. Next slide. Belair, reach in your pocket. Take action. Help that person. What they're doing, that's teaching me to have action. That's the exercise that's pushing me to go up against the world. That's right. Right? Yes, sir. Let's go to the next. The next one is the people I hang around. Listen at it. My passion, my talent, my action, and the people I hang around. You can't hang around, and that's what Elijah Muhammad said. You know, it's so beautiful. Way back then, Elijah Muhammad told Belial, if the guy don't treat you right, why you want to hang around this guy? Right. He insulting you. Everything you say, you wrong. Everything you say, you the old garbage Negro anyway. You don't want to be around him. Let's go to the box, right? See, this what we need. Yes, sir, brother. This what they gave me. This is what you need. You need to get with each other and unlock. Let two Arabic words. Alim. Uli el-bab. We've been given uli el-bab like only a person with special quality can be that. Every praying scientist you see, if a Muslim walk through that door and say, I'm a doctor, he's uli el-bab. If a Muslim walks through that door and says, I'm an engineer, I'm a chemist, I'm a school teacher, he is uli el-bab. That's what it means. It don't mean a people who dream and to see things. No, it means a very educated person who make prayer. That's what it means. For our group, we want to focus on Ali. What that mean? The prophet say, may God peace be on it. Every one of you go sharpen your knife before you slaughter. No, listen what the prophet said. The prophet say, every one of you go sharpen his knife before he goes slaughter. Right? So don't that tell us that when we coming together, I ain't coming to you halfway prepared. I'm coming to you with my knife sharp as I can get. Right? Let's go to one more to show you how fast I'm sharp on my knife. There's another word that say, it said, root. The root. And leaders nowadays, they teach us say, that means the soul. Not in your book. Nowhere in the Quran if you're going to see entertain a room speaking of the soul. Let's go. Let's go to one. I'm going to show you a powerful. Let's go. Go to Surah 15. See, that's why the Imams say, become a student. They tell you, say, the rule. And this is so powerful. Let me back up for a minute. This is so powerful. It says that when Muhammad came to his people, may God peace be on him, 80% couldn't read and write. Not just Muhammad. 80% of the people couldn't read and write. Look how God inspired them to become the teachers of the world. This is what God said to them. God said, and if you have the wrong interpretation of this, you will never see. And that was their intention. This is what it said. Surah, okay, it says, now we go from Surah 29. That's the one we want. It says, when I have fashioned him in due proportion and breathed into him of my spirit. All ye down, all that, in obedience to him. You know what that's applying to? Every created thing. Every created thing gonna bow down. What word is it? The root. In your book, there's only 3 interpretations in the Quran concerning the root. 1, the angel Jibreel. 2, Jesus, Isa, a word from God. 3, the word is the spirit of God. The same way the rain benefit the trees and the grass, a word bring that same quality out of you. The word of God. That's what that's saying. When I have breathed into you my word, everything gonna bow down. Can't nothing compete with your educated human mind. Nothing can compete with it. You think I'm kidding? Go to the ocean and look how big the ocean is. And watch that ship come by and tell the ocean, bow down. You look at the sky, how big it is, and watch that airplane come tell the sky, bow down. They don't even know the ceiling of the heaven, but watch that rocket go tell it, bow down. The same way the rain benefit the grass and the trees, learning benefits you. You the only creature that is sustenance is the word of God. You're the only creature on earth that words nourish it and make it strong. Learning. Listen to the Imam. The Imam said, you are not my followers. But now I want you to go study. And studying will unlock that creativity that's hidden in your potential. Yes. Look, let me go one more. I ain't gonna keep them long because I want to stop here at 45 if I want to answer the question. All right, come on. I got one more for you. Let's go here. Now, please listen to me. I ran the company for 30 years. 30 years. But I tried to be Muslim. The way they explained to me the financial system in America. Ooh, big mistake. Listen at me. We need to have surety on this point right here.
Yeah.
I tried not to deal with interest. Not knowing that when tax time, then here go the tax man gonna say, I done spent $36,000 for a tractor. The tax man tell me about he only finna take off $9,000. Whoa. There's only one system of financing in America. And every one of us got to practice. It's called using other people's money. That's the only system in America. You got to learn it, and it's too easy to play. How I play it? The same way you're looking for a man to borrow money from. He's looking for the man to lend the money to. Yo, I'm serious.
Yeah.
That's how he make money.
Right.
Right? But he's looking for a certain criteria. Your credit score got to be protected. Your credit score will change your whole life. Your credit score in the job. Remember this. No credit card is to go you shopping with.
Yes.
Because you got to pay interest on the credit card.
There you go.
The credit card is for one reason, to raise your credit score. And if your credit score is bad, I can go on Experience Boost. Put every bill I own on my credit report. Every bill. I put my light bill, my phone bill, my rent. I put it on Experience Boost. I bring my credit score up. The next thing I do, I go to my bank and I get a $300 secured credit card. And I only spend $50 a month on that card. Because that's going to bring my credit score up. Right? All you got to do is get your credit score and so many years on your job, and you can have whatever you want to have. Remember this, a credit card is not to go shopping with. A credit card is to build my credit. I'm never going to rent. Why? Because renting empower the people that hate them. Mm-hmm. That make them strong. But owning a home make me strong. I'm a realtor. I sell real estate now. I just learned all this here. A guy out in Green Coast Spring, he bought a house in 2004 for $159,000. He sold the house last year for $383,000. He put all that money in his pocket. It's a place, and I would see a nonprofit organization. It's called Building Wealth Through Home Ownership. Yes, I'm pretty sure you have the same organization here in your city. This is the way you got to use this thing to come up. Use the example. Another thing I'm never going to do. I'm never going to buy a used car.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to me. Why? Why you ain't going to buy a used car? There's two crucial elements. The line of used car salesman and that line mechanic. So I'm never going to put myself, so I have to deal with them two cats. Right? And all you got to do is get your credit score where you was, and you can have whatever you want to have. And the same way, the used car dealership going to take a chance with you. The new car dealership going to take a chance with you. Now, I'm going to get, I got two more. Hold on, I'm going to move fast. Let's go with this here. Listen to what I'm saying. Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. Let's
sir.
go with this. Okay. I want to be late. Okay, used car. Okay, good. Let's go to the last. Let's close out with this. We have 5 commandments. 5. The strongest force in creation is time. That's the strongest force in creation. Allah in His mercy, He give us 5 commandments to help us survive. One is faith. You got to have faith in Allah and faith in your potential. Faith is the only thing help you go up against all that rejection. The brothers I hang around, they say, get prepared for 100 no's. Because we only looking for 1 yes. That's all we looking for. Your iman will help you go through all this rejection, all these setbacks, all these disappointments. Only thing gonna keep you going is the faith that you have in yourself. There's a book that's called, the rich people read it, it's called 3 Feet from Gold. That means don't care what happened, I ain't quitting. I ain't giving up. I ain't stopping. No matter what happened. My iman, my faith, gonna keep me going. The next one is doing righteous deed. My wife named Salihah, right? That's a different kind of doing right. Salihah just don't mean do right. Salihah means behave the way God has prescribed for you to behave. That's Salihah. The next one is, and which is the hardest. Imam Haqq open the door for us to join together. Because personalities, and in this whole society, you are portrayed as the worst human being that God made. You can't use that as your motivation. And we got to be strong enough to realize I'm different than you. I was taught different than you. God created me to behave different than you. But He leave it up to me to be strong enough to accept you. And you to accept me. The next one is to be patient. That's why we need brother events that gonna help us get past the envy, the jealousy. You know, there's a quick story that jumped in my mind. You remember the story of Muhammad, may God peace be on him? Mm-hmm. When the Quraysh was getting ready to fight, to put the black stone in his place. Mm-hmm. And Muhammad took off his jalabia or whatever and laid it on the ground and told all of them to grab a cone. We need to practice that exercise. No, I'm serious for us to realize. And the atmosphere in our masjid have changed. Nobody came to us. Nobody came to us. That's right. The Imam came to us. And that's what we got to preserve. Look how many lives that were saved. That's right. We got to cling to that example. And we got to cling to that example and follow it to the level. But we want to be Ali, right? Right. The Imam had us on the level of his intellect. You remember his song he sang at the convention? Yeah. It's a wonderful word. Yeah. You remember his song? Yeah. The Imam used to love that song. You know what it say? It say, hey, the children, the young people, gonna know more than I shall ever know. That's why we here for you. It's here for you to do the same as we did. You're going to see a different America once you start studying. I'm not a follower. I'm a student. And our fathers couldn't do what you can do today. And just example, I wish that each and every one of you would find the best amongst you to represent you on a city level. You want to pick the best brother who ain't going up there to say nothing stupid, to respect you, because guess what? It's at that table where the United States begin to know you, support you, and aid you. And guess what? When they know you, people can say anything they want to say, but they cannot say anything wrong because the people know who you are. The people say we know. Now, I'm going to close with this. I'm closing with this. You come and spread. Don't get mad at me. Please. Dictatorship have no room nowhere. What's needed now? It used to be like the president, to find people in your community you can trust and work with, because you got so many areas of Dallas that need taken care of. You need a young imam to attract the young brothers. You need an educated sister to attract the sisters. A sister should never have to come to us to learn Islam. You should point her to the room. Go right in there. Sisters, right in there. Learn. We never should have. And then you should have the imam. He should select the sharp brother to give the brothers talim every week. Because guess what? You ain't paying attention. Right. 5 days a week, they're in school. You come in here 1 day a week and you think you're going to compete? How you going to do it? You got to delegate. You got to find the brothers, give them jobs. And you know what? When everybody participates, you know what happens? They feel a sense of belonging. They want to be there. They want to help. They want to support. And I don't mean no disrespect. Peace be on you. Assalamu alaikum.
That's very Imam Bilal. Yeah.
If you have any questions, feel free to share. In the back, just come up to the front. On the dress. Come. Okay. Question coming with the speakers. So, just to break down what the brother was saying, Brother Black, right?
Yeah, Black.
Nice to meet you. Yeah, so what he was saying about being a follower and being a teacher, you know, those stuck out, right? A follower, correct me, is a person who just follow along, sit, like a dog would do, right? But a dog, he's a student. Dog is a student because every time you tell that dog to do something, they do it, correct? But look at a sheep. Go right along with the herd, right? Right along in the gate. You put a dog there, put them sheep in there. Dog will take that sheep. It's a follower, right? A sheep is a follower, right into the gate. But a student learns from what he's being taught. I don't have to tell you, hey, I'm gonna teach you. No, when you tell me something because I don't know it, what I'm gonna do? I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it. But I'm actually learning from what whoever tells me to do something. It's like my parents. I need you to sit down. Go sit down. Okay, now why am I sitting down? What was I doing at that moment that they had to tell me to sit down? Because I'm acting up, acting crazy, right? Or it was a time for everybody resting. I'm being noisy, so I had to sit down. Now I'm grown up, and I see my little man running around making all this noise, right? I was a follower at the beginning, but I became a student because I was learning from what I was going through, you know. So what Brother Bilal was saying about being a follower and being a student, you know, you learn from every situation you're in. You know, then the next step, you're not gonna do whatever that you was doing because you was a student and you learned from where you was at that point. You know, so that's my right there. All right, another comment.
Assalamu alaikum. Brother Imam Bilal, we've had conversations before about multiple, his knowledge is deep when it comes to business.
Yes.
My passion is that when we have people that come to the Masjid, we have a job for them. We have a place for them to stay. However, I don't know the needs of a person coming out of prison. I don't know those needs. I didn't have to go through that. But when they come to the Masjid, they have something that they can, get themselves started. So I started my LLC. I got good credit. I'm using other people's money. I want those government contracts. I want to be able to employ somebody who, maybe is retired or somebody who's young who need a job. I know that this is the guy that can tell me how to do it.
Yeah.
And we have to use this wealth of knowledge so that we'll be able to have these institutions in our places of worship, so people who come, they're not subject to going back in the direction that they've been going. So this is very, very important what he's saying, because we do have the knowledge now. However, we need some instruction.
Go ahead and answer, and we'll help field it.
Okay, hold on. Okay, come on, email on.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
let me just
that's
say,
why we here.
Yeah, let me just say that, there's a structure to all of this. There's a structure that should evolve from all of this. And I'm telling you, I'm bringing from here to here, and I'm about to cry, but doing a man thing.
Yeah.
But everybody that's interested in any one of these subjects, this is the way we've always done it. Get with those people that have that interest. He's talking about business.
Right.
If you're interested in business, then get together, cross-pollinate your knowledge, find those sources, and let's what Michelle said?
Do something.
That's the bottom line right there. The bottom line is together, meet and greet, meet each other. Don't leave the place without knowing each other and each other's interest in that particular area. We can get something done.
And to the brother's comment earlier, take action.
Yeah, that's right. And all what people say, all that's coming. Today, just for the introduction, the intention of the group is to rotate this to each city.
Right.
So it benefit each Masjid. That was the platform. That's why I called them up. That's the sole intention of this. This is just the first time we meet. But we want to go from city to city, continue with doing this, and the part of it is education.
Right.
And after the introduction, then you're gonna have more go. A lot of brothers got something to offer. A lot of brothers, it just ain't me. There's a lot of brothers got stuff to offer.
Brother, thank you, Brother Bilal. I'm gonna ask a question in a peculiar way, in that I want to ask you a question. Would I need to repeat your statement without asking a question?
I want to get a sense of answer.
What else you want?
No, I don't.
He wants you to repeat the statement.
You make it a point. Yeah, he make it a point.
Brother Bilal, thank you very much. Last year, the administration released $786 billion in contracts for small minority businesses. Less than 1% came to our communities. Less than 1%. And secondly, I hope and pray that you can duplicate yourself, because many of us need help in registering the SAM and how to do contracts. I know how, but we need to duplicate ourselves so that we can be in line to get some of this money. I can help us. Please respond.
You got a hand right here.
So it's a college boy. I was sitting. We're doing a program called Beaver Street Enterprise. All the contracts is sent to his office. And you know what he told me? He can't find no African American to fulfill the minority proportion. Yes, because see, and that's another brother sitting right there that benefit from contract, Brother Zaki.
Yeah.
He'll tell you the same thing I'm telling you. See, you got to go and get in the race. You can't win the race if you ain't in it. You know, and I'm gonna tell you something that nobody never taught us, but me and them know. Every contract is public knowledge.
Right.
That means I can see what the state paid him last year to do it, right? And me and Zaki got the same. He ain't finna get that this year. Ronnie who? But yeah, see, it's too easy, you know. Like I said, we'll come in, but no strings attached. That's the intention of the street.
Not to take away from anybody over here, but Engage has a business summit coming up next month. Government contracts in Fort Lauderdale. If y'all want to know about it, give me a call. Telephone number is 407-692-4112. That's 407-692-4112. Get up with this man right here. You know what he's doing.
All right, so
Can you send me that information? I got some. Okay, that's fine. So we're gonna Skia, and we'll actually give you a 5-minute break this time, and then we'll roll it to the next program.
Two or three things very quickly. First of all, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وابتغي فيما آتاك الله الدار الآخرة ولا تنس نصيبك من الدنيا وأحسن كما أحسن الله إليك ولا تبغي الفساد في الأرض والله لا يحب المفسدين صدق الله العظيم. And seek with the means that Allah has given you. Seek the destiny. Seek your destiny with the means, the resources that Allah has given you. And do not forget your share of the dunya, of this world. Right? وَأَحْسِنْ كَمَا أَحْسَنَ اللَّهُ إِلَيْكَ. And do good for yourself and your family and for your community and for humanity as Allah has done good for all of us. And do not cause mischief in the earth. وَلَا تَبْغِي الْفَسَادَ فِي الْأَرْضِ وَاللَّهُ لَا يُحِبُّ الْمُفْسِدِينَ. Because Allah does not love those, Allah is not with those who cause mischief. Now, we have expertise here. Remember why we're here, why this gathering is important. To get acquainted, in some cases reacquainted. There's some of these things that we're talking about, things that we used to do. We had prison services ministry and trained people to do that. Some of us are chaplains, have been chaplains locally and in the state. So we just need to reestablish some of that. We have people who have been in business and we help to train other people in business. There are some people who have experience, but some of you don't know that because you've not been a part of this association. And then some of us have forgotten it because we have lost our connection with each other. Listen, alhamdulillah. Allah is merciful. I ran the St. Pete Housing Authority. I worked for the St. Pete Housing Authority for 11 years and ran it for several of those years. Over 100 employees, $17 million budget. We did all kinds of stuff, including contracting with people. I helped write a grant for $27 million that was leveraged to $72 million. Department of Housing and Urban Development. Ran a nonprofit for 11 years. During those 11 years, we helped over 1,000 people get on the path to home ownership, away from renting, including some people who were living in public housing, paying $30 a month rent, and we helped them become homeowners. It's possible to do it. You need a plan and a commitment and action, and it's possible. We developed over 112 single-family houses, brand new houses, in 2.5 years. Some of those houses, the school system donated to us because they were expanding the schools and you had houses in those areas and they were going to demolish them. And we went to the school and said, that house is in good condition. Donate it to us. We'll move it, put it on a new lot and put somebody in it to own it. This is the kinds of,
These are things that can be done and that are being done. Right? Imam Muhammad, rahimahullah, said, I'm not worried about my followers leaving this deen that I have taught them to, brought them to, through Quran and changing the word environment. He said, I'm worried about us not having the resources to do the things that we ought to be doing. What have we built? What have we built? Tell me what we have built with all this talking that we're doing.
Quality Life Center, that's about it.
Quality Life Center, that's about, and then Fort Lauderdale, we lost that. Right? But we have people who've come here, our dear brothers, including Muslims, who come here from other places, and look at what they have done in just a few years. Right? Look at Istanbul and Tampa. And we can go around the state because we're talking and not acting and doing. Because we're not organizing. Because we're not using wealth wisely. We're not getting our share of the dunya and using it wisely to build up the society in our community. Muslim, whatever, poor working, poor whites, I don't care what it is. Humanity. Dear brothers and sisters, let's get to know each other. Let's get to know what Allah has called us to do and why. Allah called you. And you came, now you're doing what Allah called you to do. Us to do. What Allah called us to do. And we have to learn from each other. So we got to agree sometimes we're not going to. But you can work together, whether you agree or not. Right. You know you can. You live in households with people that you don't always agree with. And you work together. Right? We have to work together around the state. We have to work together around the state, around the country and other parts of the world. We have to do it. And that's what this is intended to motivate and to inspire. Thank you. Assalamu
alaikum. So on that note, we will end this session. We'll actually use the next 2 or 3 minutes to do some of that networking, that get to know one another, that leads you out of food type of deal, that mutual exchange of knowledge information. We use this time now for that. We'll do this until 12:05 at the latest, and then we'll bring up Imam Yassin and Isaiah for the next topic. Imam Nasr is en route, so once that topic is finished, then we'll have Imam Nasr start, and then we'll start with Salat al-Zuhr, and then we'll continue with the rest of the program as we said. Assalamu
How long is this break?
3 minutes.